This presentation shows my planning and research for my short film about mental illness. I've always had a strong interest in music and I'm going to study music business at university in London. So creating a film that involved song lyrics about something so important to me, I felt was the best way I could raise awareness and hopefully help people. Choosing my song wasn't easy as I knew I wanted a song that had lyrics that could provoke an emotion in my audience. I also wanted to include a call to action at the end of my film in the hopes that it inspired someone to reach out for help. So I decided that the lyrics to Fire Away by Niall Horan delivered the strong message that I wanted. The lyrics in Fire Away open up communication to the sufferer for someone to be able to turn around to them and say, "Look, I'm here, come on, fire away." I had an exact idea as to who I wanted my audience to be even before production started. I wanted to create a film aimed at teens and young adults who suffer with mental health, as I feel like it's a topic not talked about enough. As I explained in my proposal document, my brother has suffered from anxiety disorder since he was 16 years old. He is now 29 years old with 2 children of his own. Most days, anxiety is there with him like his shadow. It's almost like he's got a devil on his shoulder and an angel on the other, and the devil usually wins. My brother was my inspiration for my film. Daniel's behaviour really mirrors what my brother goes through when he's suffering from a panic attack. My brother came on set to talk to Fraser, who plays the main character, about body language when he's going through a panic attack. He explained how one minute he can be absolutely fine and the next he'll be jumping up, screaming, calling for an ambulance because he thinks he's going to have a heart attack. When it came to researching directors and films for my FMP, 13 Reasons Why really stood out to me and encouraged a lot of my ideas. 13 Reasons Why covers a subject that I think all students, parents, tutors, carers, etc. should watch. The series had a really strong message that I feel the directors put across really well when describing the struggles that Hannah Baker went through, who is the main character. I also wanted to create a film that highlighted everyday struggles and was something that people could learn from. Hopefully, I've created a film that people can relate to and to understand how important it is to listen and reach out if they can. The difference is I didn't want an ending like 13 Reasons Why. I wanted to show there was a light at the end of the tunnel. I knew how I wanted my narrative structure and I knew that I wanted my film to go from dark to light. Halfway through, I decided that I wanted to change my male character's name from Arlo to Daniel. The reason I did this was because I wanted to incorporate the semicolon symbol into his name and then proceed to insert it into the title of the film. What is seen as just a small punctuation mark is actually a symbol of a survivor of suicidal thoughts. The semicolon means that the sentence isn't over yet. Suicide survivors use it to tell the world in the form of a tattoo that their lives aren't over yet. The passion from my actors really brought my film to life and emotion to my film. When I showed my film to my family, it brought some of them to tears. It's this raw emotion that causes people to act, which is exactly what I wanted my film to achieve. Although my film isn't scripted, I'm really happy with how the song lyrics told the story. You really have to listen to the lyrics and feel the music in order to relate. I feel most people will. I added subtitles to my film so people could read the important lyrics as they watched. Using Abby and Fraser as my actors worked really well as because they're friends they already had a bond. Their natural chemistry is very apparent in the film. The distressed look on Abby's face is something I feel she would have if her friend really was in trouble. I feel both actors portrayed their characters perfectly and it was everything I wanted. The way Fraser portrayed my brother's mental state in my final project was perfect. I feel that he emphasised how fast a panic attack can come on. The reason I touch on suicide in my film is because I feel that a lot of people see suicide as their only way out from mental health issues. Therefore, it was important to me to show them that there really is a way out. Within my evaluation, I pinpointed the good and bad parts of my film, what I would do and what I would do again if I had to remake the film from scratch. I discussed the different methods I use from camera use to editing. I was unfortunately let down from the music side of my production, so I had to go in and edit the original soundtrack myself. I changed the echo, tone, speed and pitch of the song. I would have preferred to have someone different singing the song with a different backing track, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. I showed all the changes I made between the research and filming process and explained how and why I changed them. To promote my film, I have uploaded it to my YouTube channel that is just short of 900 followers, and I've also posted a link to my Twitter account that has just about 2,000 followers. Since posting the link to my survey at the start of the project, I have gained over 500 followers. Another way I've presented my film is at a screening organised by my class at the end of this year. We showed our films in a cinema environment with a whole new audience, some of them just seeing the film for the first time. It was good to receive some valuable feedback and nice to hear that my film provoked some emotion in viewers. Our final way of showing our work is on the last day of college. We will be holding another screening as well as opening the classroom for students where we show a presentation on how we went through the process of creating our films. I added the sound of a heartbeat into my film to not only represent the increase in heart rate of anxiety sufferers before a panic attack, but to also have another way of incorporating the heart into my film. I filmed in my home, as home is where the heart is. I purposely used the kitchen, which is the heart of the home. I also wanted to get across that even though you feel safe at home, anxiety can still affect you. I decided to do a close-up shot of Aria crying as I felt that this would help provoke some sort of emotion to my audience. This actually made some of my viewers almost cry. I felt that the close-up was the only way I could provoke emotion within my audience. There weren't many close-up shots in my film, therefore I wanted maximum impact from the ones I showed. When my female character Aria ran through the kitchen, I do wish that I filmed this shot from the opposite angle to show more kitchen appliances, as then I would have been able to incorporate another hearty shot. The kitchen is seen as the heart of the home. I feel that if I showed this properly in my film, I'd have been able to run that heart aspect all the way through my film. When Daniel was pacing after his panic attack first came on, this shot was definitely how I envisioned, although I do wish I'd cut it down a little and then had a shot of Aria looking up to the window that I could have added in to make it more obvious to where she was looking and why. One of the obstacles that I faced here was that I would have needed a drone camera to film the upstairs window. In order to do that, I would have needed permission from Civil Aviation Authority. It is unlikely that I would have gotten permission, but I am really happy with the end result. The final few shots of the fireplace and my characters hugging was a one-take shot. We only had one chance to perfect it as we were burning the original note we had written. I'm happy with how the burn turned out, especially with it being a handheld shot. I sped up the process of the burning note as it took more than 2 minutes to burn fully. However, it still looked realistic because the speed didn't affect it in any way. The hug at the end was very natural. I asked my actors to just put their arms around each other, but they added in the genuine hug to make it seem more sincere, which I liked that extra touch. I decided to cut the burning note scene towards the end and add in the facts and figures to add that extra heart-wrenching emotion, as I feel that a lot of people didn't realise that male suicide statistics were so high. I added in the remainder of the burning note at the end of my film, as the ending line of the song was, "and fire away." I felt that having the note burned to a crisp as those words were sang had a real impact and was a good closing scene to my film. I have really enjoyed the process of making this film and would just like to thank everyone that was involved in the process and helped me along the way. Mental health is something that affects so many of us, and I really hope I did it justice.